Today's question is about how thick can you cut with your Cricut and what can you do if it's too thick. This is the Creative Crafters Podcast. Hi, I'm Bette from Bette's Makes, and this is your questions answered. Now, I just came across this question a couple of days ago, and the thickness piece is always a concern because I like to use recycle, reuse type materials such as cereal boxes. For example, today I wanted to cut out a book cover, but I wanted the inside to be from a cereal box. Now, I measured and designed everything in Design Space, and when it went to the cut, sure enough, we did have an option for flat cardboard to be cut with my Cricut. Now, the cardboard is fairly thick, so I did have to tape it down, and I had to smooth it with my roller to make sure it was going to stick to the mat. Now, I let it do a one-cut pass, and before I ejected the mat, I took a look at the cut and I lifted it up a little bit. I could see that it was not cut all the way through, even though I had the right setting and the right material. So what happens then, instead of ejecting the mat, you hold and press down the go button, and even though it'll flash and the eject the mat button will still flash, it will then go ahead and make a second pass on your cut. Well, it turned out I had to hit 5 passes for the cut in order for it to cut all the way through because of the thickness of the material. So if something doesn't work initially, you can always up the pressure in the beginning, and then if it still doesn't cut through, remember, don't eject the mat, but simply push the go button down, and you will find that it will cut a second pass. Now, the big test here is when it stops cutting and wants you to eject, you have to get your hands in there and see if it cut all the way through. If it did not, that is a signal to push the go button again and let it cut another pass. This has been the Creative Crafters Podcast and your questions answered.